We're doing another review. Infinity War. Hey.
The entire time I knew him, he only ever had one goal. To wipe out half the universe. If he gets all the Infinity Stones, he can do it with the snap of his fingers. Just like that.
Tell me his name again.
Thanos.
Seth Mayer again. With Timothy Mayer. You know him.
Yo, what up, guys?
Darwin couldn't make it. He passed away in the cinema. Thanos clicked his fingers and he died. So we brought in, want to introduce yourself?
Jordan.
This is Jordan Pastor. So yeah, he's doing the review with us today. And we're doing a review of the much desired, much hyped up Infinity War. The latest installment in the Avengers franchise. So guys, initial reactions after the movie. How did you guys find it? Tim?
Initial reactions, I'd say it's one of the best movies I've seen in my entire life. I know I said that in the previous video, but now I'm being serious. Like, this movie had me in tears, had me laughing, had me screaming, had me kick the other guy next to me's ass. And yeah, it was great.
It's a PG show.
They can beat that up.
Jordan?
Okay. I think Marvel's giving Lord of the Rings a run for its money with how well they're gonna make their movies.
Yeah,
I
oh
think
my word.
this is a completely different length of movie for the Marvel franchise. It's a very different take on a superhero movie because they aren't introducing anyone really except Thanos. Like, this is basically Thanos' movie, and it's, spoiler, the bad guy wins at the end.
Wow, straight
Okay.
off the bat.
Well, I'd like to give my take on it. So, 2 hours and 40 minutes. It was a really engaging 2 hours and 40 minutes. I enjoyed the movie, and I think it deserved the hype that everyone gave it. So, we have to look at now the plots and the cast and the characters as we always do. So, Tim, and what do you want to say about anything, basically? Start with anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
Anything?
Yeah.
Anything.
Just start.
Okay, well, anyway, for me, the characters, once again, really good. Like, just throughout the whole genre of the last 10 years. Also, the 10-year hype. This has been built up for 10 years. The first time I watched the Iron Man movie, I was what, 7, I think. That's how long ago it was. I don't know, you guys?
Yeah.
It's about there, right?
So, yeah, kicked off around there, yeah.
Yeah, the first Iron Man.
Yeah, first time.
Oh, it was great. Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, Tom Holland, Tom Hiddleston. There's a lot of Toms actually. There's a lot of
Chris's also.
A lot of Chris's, yeah, jeez. But they're all great. They were all fantastic. I like the new spin they gave on all the characters, made them look a bit more defined. You had to see some of the girls in the cinema, especially Seth, that just went crazy when they saw Thor and Captain America. It was mad.
Yeah, those pecs. I can only dream. Okay, well, what do you guys think about Thanos, who basically dominated the whole movie?
Oh, I think he was great. Like, he was obviously a CGI character, but while you were watching the movie, you thought he was real. Like those close-ups on his face, like on those his biceps, the veins going up his forearms.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
If you take a look at, I forgot which movie it was. It was like an end-credit scene of Thanos sitting on the chair.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the close-up of that face and you look at him in Infinity War, you laugh because he looks so purple in that, and he's very proud. He looks really fake, but in this he seems like a real person. You actually forget he's CGI.
Are you sure it wasn't a DC movie?
No. Okay, let's throwing shade at DC.
Shout out to the beard that they got rid of.
So for me, Thanos was, I was like coming out of the movie, and I was leaning initially towards not liking it, but then I found that I did like it. Was that he was the movie. Thanos was the movie. It wasn't like it wasn't the typical story of the good guy saying this is the bad guy and he's going to do this and we need to get together and do this, and then it cuts to the bad guy like making the bomb or planning or something. But Thanos was in almost every scene except for a few, and he was basically a part of the movie, and it really gave us this perspective of him that we haven't seen other than in post-credit scenes of most movies, and obviously in he got a bit more feature in Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, but we didn't really know anything about him. And I know some people said that there wasn't really a backstory, but I think it was great to see that Thanos is a villain that you can actually root for. And he has like this motive. Also, I've been noticing a trend in movies where it's all about like population, about we need to control the population, and obviously Marvel took that and then they gave it to Thanos. and made it they did their Marvel magic, I guess, and took it to a universal scale. So yeah, that was amazing for me.
Yeah, but like on that as well, like if you actually realize all the Marvel movies, like I know a lot of movies do it nowadays, I don't know if you notice it, but in the Marvel genre, if you watch the last couple of movies, they all deal with social issues, like hidden social issues. Like I was just looking at a couple of videos and they explain it, like it will probably be in the description below. I'll give it to our producer.
Oh wow, sure, yeah.
Yeah, you must go check it out. They actually explain it in full depth. But like you were saying with Thanos though, I think Avengers almost play like an origin story, and Avengers 4 will almost be like a sequel to that story. But I hope they really make it longer, just so they give us more depth on him, per se.
Okay.
Just as a villain.
Some more depth on Thanos.
Yeah, a little bit more, just a little bit. They did enough, but a little bit more. Like maybe him as a kid, you know, more emphasis on that or something. Something like flashback.
Okay. Jordan, what did you think about the assumptions that we have to make about, like at the end of the movie, there's a lot of things we have to assume are going to happen in the next one, especially with several characters who, well, go watch the video and find out.
Yeah, so like there was about 60 characters, I think they said. About 60, yeah. I'd say 30 of them died at the end of it.
Just about 30, right? Yeah.
Let's just say
about
50%.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, when he clicked his fingers, like they were building up the whole time. He's gonna click his fingers, and half of life on Earth or the universe, sorry, not Earth, that's gonna get wiped. So the questions that immediately come to your mind are they actually dead? Where are they? Where did Thanos go? We don't know where he went. We just saw him speaking to Gamora, and most comic book nerds like myself, we assume that he's actually in the Soul Stone. Okay.
Yeah.
And their souls might have actually gone there with him, like Red Skull, because he died.
Yeah.
But he was in the Soul Stone. He was involved
Yes.
taking the Soul Stone.
No, but he was transported from using the Space Stone.
Yeah.
In Captain America, the first Avenger.
Yeah. And there's other obvious questions like where's Hawkeye? Where's Ant-Man?
Oh yes.
And they tried to contact Captain Marvel at the end, so their movies are all coming up soon. But it's all set before Infinity War.
Yeah.
So their stories could give us more insight as to what we can predict for Avengers 4.
Okay. Jeez, wow.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things to think about.
Yes.
So now what about in terms of, so I looked at some of the other people who did reviews of Infinity War, like the bigger names, bigger than us, of course.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were criticizing the fact that there was so many characters smushed into such a small space, but also the movie, and then complaining that the movie's 2 hours and 40 minutes long.
Yeah, exactly.
And then complaining that they're jumping all over the place, going from. And it was cool to see them visit different locations that we've seen in other movies, like Nowhere.
Yeah.
But then also new locations as well, like Titan, which is
Pretty
used to
sick.
be Thanos' home. So what do you guys think of that?
They got that on point actually. Like all the locations where they went, they got that very like comically accurate.
Okay.
Right? I like what they did, and I know people are complaining about how spread out it was, but that's what I thought gave it depth. Like real places to visit and the whole universe, not just on Earth the whole time and that's blowing up and that's blowing up and then going to space and then that falls down and blows up Earth. Now we go to another place, see what's happening there, and it just leads to the story.
I actually have to agree. I'm going to agree with you there for once, because honestly, it was actually really interesting for me to see like all these different places, and they actually were all interesting. It wasn't like cut away to something else that I'm not interested in, and like, oh no, what happened to Doctor Strange and that cut away. But it was like, oh wait, I forgot about these guys, and then you would watch this story, and then we cut away to something else, and it's something else going on, and it's all tied together. So that's what I really liked about how they managed to incorporate it into 2 hours and 40 minutes. And unlike Lord of the Rings, they managed to keep me interested for 2 hours and 40 minutes.
For me, with having such a huge cast, it was hard to get an emotional bond with every single character. Like they kind of forced Wanda and Vision's relationship on us. Like in previous movies, we saw them cooking once, and then you were like, okay, maybe there's something between them. But then in Infinity War, they were like, bam, they're together, and we were just like, okay. And then some characters like the Hulk, he never turns into the Hulk. I think that's because in Thor Ragnarok, he was Hulk the whole movie.
Yeah.
Therefore, Mark Ruffalo, he's quite a big name in acting. He deserves more time on screen, so they gave him more time. He'll probably turn into Hulk in the next movie, I think. And then with some characters like Shuri, Black Panther's I think it's his sister.
Shuri, yeah.
Shuri,
Yeah.
yeah. Like her scene, she had to take Vision's stone out of his head.
I thought it was.
I think it's also another indication of that trait of Marvel that I've pointed out. That's personal, the vendetta of mine that I have against it for their sloppy character intros and outros, which is so when you see that they did a clever one with Hulk where he's just not Hulk, and because he's got like some issue with Hulk.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, clever Marvel. That's okay. That's kind of acceptable, right? I still see you. And then with Sherry, also like she's just there. She doesn't really do anything, and then she's not there all of a sudden. So yeah, that's another trait. Also, one other flaw I wanted to point out was just something strange. There wasn't a flaw. It was just so in the trailer they say Thanos can with a snap of his fingers he can wipe out the universe, but the thing is built up as a metaphor, so you don't actually really think he's gonna snap his fingers and wipe the universe out.
Yeah.
And then he does it, and I was like, oh, that's pretty weird. It was like it was kind of, it came across to me as a metaphor, as in it would be as easy as snapping his fingers, and when he has all the Power Stones, or sorry, the Infinity Stones, and I just laughed. That was a personal moment of laughter for me. But,
And like with talking about the trailer, in the trailer there's a scene where they all run into battle, and Hulk's actually Hulk. So what was up with that?
Yeah, that was marketing from Marvel. They just wanted the people to come. And I did my research on that. Apparently that's in the deleted scenes. They cut that because they wanted to build suspense for the trailer. But then when it came to the movie, they were actually going to add it in the fourth one.
Oh,
yeah. So they're going to add all of the characters you missed. Apparently they're going to bring characters back from the dead, like Killmonger.
Yeah. I also saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's a little part of him in the back if you look at it properly. Ant-Man is also like hinted at somewhere in there as well. And I think it was Hawkeye, was he in there?
yeah, I have no idea.
I don't think I saw it. I only watched the trailer.
Yeah.
But the Hulk's so big you can't miss him.
Yeah, that's true. So I think this whole movie was basically from the get-go when we saw the Marvel, like the intro, the whole like comes in and you see all the comic book characters like doing their thing, and there was no music, so that was like instantly like an indication this is gonna be dark. And the movie was noticeably darker. I noticed a lot of people using the words like dark to describe the movie, and like the Tom Holland scene where he dies or like passes away. That was like pretty heartrending for me. Timothy shed a tear.
I did. I cried. Oh, that's dead early in the movie.
Okay, so I think we need to talk about, now we have to give our final ratings. So we decided to do something different and rate characters and plots and storylines. So what do you guys think of how the characters work together, like out of 10?
The characters? Personally,
because we saw so many of them.
It's gonna be quite biased. I'm a real Marvel guy. Like, actually, I'm a very like big hero guy. But I just prefer Marvel over DC just because the humor, everything like that. So the way the characters work together in the Marvel universe is obviously way better than DC. I'm gonna give it a solid 10. You can use that any way you want.
For me, since there were so many characters, and if you've only seen about 2 Marvel movies, you wouldn't really know what's going on. Like, you were like, why was Scarlet Witch being subbed out in the fight so much? And then she just completely destroyed everyone in that one. And she was just standing along the side the whole time. So I'd say, if it's your first time, I'd say the characters are about a 5 or 6. But if you've watched most of the Marvel movies, I'd give it a 9.
Okay. Plots, gentlemen?
Plot. This is what I actually really wanted to get to. I love the whole plot throughout. Like we were speaking after the movie when we went to go watch it, there was very little, if not any, plot holes in that whole story. And but I loved everything, how Thor was on his journey to get a new hammer with the Guardians. I mean, I like that twist. Instead of just making the Avengers go with Thor, they make the Guardians go, and I like their new interaction with each other.
Yeah, that was really nice.
I like how all the leadership roles were in contention, you know, Doctor Strange, Iron Man, and then Star-Lord, obviously, how they were fighting for that.
Yeah.
I like how Wakanda was the main emphasis as well. It's bringing a lot of diversity into it again, into the Marvel
It's nice
series.
to see Wakanda again.
Yes, I mean,
it's like it wasn't just like that's another city that's just forgotten.
Yeah, just gone again. Yeah. But plot as a whole, I'd give it a 9.5. If you want to know where that 0.5 went, it's just that Thanos origin story, and then also it made me sad. So
okay. I have to give it a 10 because really it's got this like Tim says, it's got 10 years of build-up, and Marvel is really ingenious in how they interlink their movies. And so honestly, even if I wasn't a Marvel fan or I didn't know anything about it, I would have loved that movie anyway. So yeah, that movie was great. So that's a 10 for plot from me. Jordan?
Yeah, I think I'd give it a 10 or so. I love the way they made the story. There was some stuff they overdid, but it worked. Like that scene where Thor went to go get Stormbreaker the axe. I think that could have been put in the end credits of Ragnarok, but it worked well in the movie. You got to see Peter Dinklage, that's his name?
Yeah, Peter Dinklage.
He was hilarious. He was hilarious. Like, he's a dwarf, but he was huge in his movie.
Huge dwarf.
Like, everyone started laughing. Like,
it was very strange. When his face, he was like, whoa.
Yeah, and the references were great. You got emotional attachments to almost all the characters. Like the villain, it's this new thing. In Black Panther, the villain, you had this attachment, like you didn't want to see him die.
It is really nice, actually.
Yeah.
Because
Like-
Ultron was just like,
Yeah, like
just break him.
Age of Ultron, there was a lot of plot holes, but this, I think they really fixed it. So yeah, that's why I give it a 10.
They've come a long way. Okay, final ratings, gentlemen.
Final ratings. I shouldn't go first. Let Jordan go first.
Okay, so I don't think any movie is ever gonna be a 10 out of 10, but this movie is probably next to Harry Potter. Harry Potter, that's the closest I'm gonna get to 10 out of 10. I give this like about a 9.2.
I'm gonna give it a 9. It was a solid movie.
Gonna give it a
You
solid
really need to go watch that movie if you haven't. And if you're watching this, then you're a fool. Timothy?
Me, I'm very biased. Okay, like I told you guys earlier in this film, if you guys went to go see the other one, also hinting at that, go watch the other video as well. It's pretty great. I'm in there, so any video I'm in is awesome. My final rating, I'm gonna give it a solid 10, lads. For you Marvel fans out there, solid 10.
Someone wants a call from Stanley.
Oh, of course I do, bro.
Well, that's the review for Infinity War. So, gentlemen, thank you for being here. Jordan, this is your first podcast. Thanks for joining us.
Okay.
Thank you to Pod Radio for making this podcast possible. And we'll see you in the next review. Bye.